Quite often, if not usually, when I hear or think about the Big Bang model of how the universe began, I am struck with an idea, a sort of an intuition, that the Big Bang appears to be how things were, given how things appear to be, looking out, looking back, and rewinding how things may have gone. But then when I reflect on appearances, how the world used to appear to be flat, and now it appears to be a ball, a sphere, and the low Earth orbit view tends to be an absolute kind of frame of reference in my mind normally, but Earth also appears to be a pale blue dot. And so to say what it really is really appears to appear to be based upon appearances and observations. Same kind of thing, I have a hunch, might apply to the Big Bang. It's only been since around 1920 or 1929 that Hubble up on Mount Wilson saw what he saw, and things began to take on a different shape. Einstein needed a constant, and then maybe he threw the constant out of the equations, and then it got put back in, and now it's being fiddled with based on energy and spins of galaxies and lensing and all kinds of observations. There's a part of me that wants to suppose that there didn't necessarily have to be a Big Bang, that the expansion rate could just increase as matter, as energy emerges, cancels itself out, but is slightly tilted. And part of me wants to see singularities as cosmic drains, where space-time shrinks in a way, time stops, space becomes somewhat small, yet the mass is there. And I'm often struck with how at the speed of light, it's also said that time stops and distance shrinks to zero. Of course, that's supposed to be in a vacuum. And the vacuum cleaner of my mind wants to sweep all these things together or under a rug or make something out of them in some way, so that just as the Earth is round, that the edge of the universe in some manifold dimension, number of dimensions, warps around itself and pops out of the Big Bang once again. So it's not a bouncing, cycling, big crunch, big bang kind of thing. It's not a flat or ever expanding thing, but it could appear to be ever expanding until some horizon is reached and it warps around back to the beginning again. So the end and the beginning are the same point. And that point obviously is right now. It's always now. It's always here. That's where we are, that's where you are, that's where I've always been. And as we look out, or look in, or look back, that's always from here and now. And what appears to be emerges out of our looking. Out of the observations arise the appearances. So in a way, people create the flat Earth, and people create the spherical Earth, and people create the blue dot Earth and the universe as it appears, as if there were a universe and galaxies such as they appear to people as people observe them. And so with an SEW, there's more than meets the eye, and more than meets the ear, and more than meets the touch. And off the top of my head, shooting out the old crown chakra, I guess that's about it. I'd like to say more with an O-R-E or an O-A-R and row the boat gently down the stream of consciousness. expanding and contracting from the beginning to the end, the Big Bang, on through individualities and singularities and families, groups, tribes, nation states of mind, planetary consciousness, on out to cosmic consciousness, God consciousness, and all the rest of metaphysical stuff, not to mention nonsense. And the utility of it all, I think it's pretty much useless. That kind of goes without saying. And so I might ask myself, as I often do, DEW, what am I doing? I'd say, I'm not doing anything. I'm doing nothing. Nothing can be a key to emptiness. The gnarly tree that's good for shade, and that's how everything got made. Emerged.